Welcome to Composition 1, Lecture 15. And today we want to talk about test preparation. Basically, what we want to talk about is the test, the final exam that everybody is worried about. And we're here to say that it is easy and you don't have anything to be worried about, but it won't hurt to clarify some types of questions that might be a cause of confusion to some of you. So what I would like to do today is give you an example of what an exam of a closed test looks like, which is going to be included in the exam. Of course, we've had this before, and you probably had this before elsewhere, but it won't hurt. So let's say using articles, and what we mean by using articles in English is the, or an, and zero. A zero meaning no article, nothing. We don't use anything. So look at the first sentence. One of, and then a blank space, one of, blank space, most beneficial aspects. So what would be a good filler for the space from the articles, either no article, or a, or an, or the? Which one? Of course, here you have the answer. I already chose it for you, which is the. So one of the most beneficial aspects. If you really can't agree or decide on what to use, you can continue and you can continue reading the sentence, because the sentence ends here at the full stop, right? As you can see. So this is a kind of a continued sentence. So one of the, which is your choice, right? One of the most beneficial aspects of globalization is the, also, is the movement of people across borders. Now, this is a test of your knowledge, really. When to use the, which is number 2, or a, or nothing. So would you say, for instance, one of a most beneficial? You can't say one of a most. It just doesn't work in English to say one of a most, because you already chose it. And you said one of. So when you say one of, that means you've chosen one. You've chosen one, so it's definite. So you use the definite article, the. But when you say one of a, what is one of a? There is no one of a, because you can't decide on something and then decide that you're not decided. It doesn't work that way. So it's specific. You've specified it when you said one of the. So one of the most beneficial aspects of globalization is. And of course, since the first one is definite, the other one has to be definite as well. Okay, is the movement of people across borders. For example, number 3, for example, in the small town where I live in Mexico. So it has to be the, right? Because it's a small town that this person lives in. So it's known for this person. He knows what he's talking about, so he needs to use the. You can't use a, because it's not, is it unknown? So he doesn't know where he lives? No, that's not right. You can't say, I don't know where I live, and you know the city where you live. It's just confusing. And that means you actually know where you live in Mexico, so it's definite. So you use the definite article, the, as well, right? And the sentence continues, and you say, there are now shops owned and operated by people from China. Okay? Number 4, For people in town, meaning the town I was just talking about, and Chinese, meaning the people from China, right? Chinese are people from China. So they are known to us now. They haven't been mentioned for the first time. So they are definite. So you use the definite article with them, right? For people in town, the Chinese are not quite as foreign as they were before. There are many examples as well. So that's an example of us asking you how to use a definite article and an indefinite article. How to fill in a definite article or an indefinite article in a closed test. Some of you might ask and say, well, was using the definite article part of the content of the course? Well, you see, this is that's kind of a question. It's like the same as asking. It's like asking that every word in the English language has to be given to you in a chapter or a lesson or what have you. So if I use is, am, and are, that means I have to give you a lecture on is, am, and are. That's not true. Using the definite articles is one of those things that you already know how to use, but I would like to see if you choose the correct article in this context, in any context chosen. Prepositions, also prepositions such as in, of, with, or to, towards, over, are prepositions commonly used in English, and you already know them, right? So what we want to do is just test you and see if you are able to fill in the spaces, the blank spaces, with the correct preposition. And these prepositions are already known to you, of course. So if we take number one says, the events the events in one part of, the world have a significant impact on the rest of the world. And I think I've seen this for the first time. So, in, of, on, and of. So the events, sorry, this should have been capitalized, I'm sorry, but yeah. The events in one part of the world have a significant impact on the rest of the world. End of story. Very easy, very straightforward. There's nothing to worry about when it comes to using prepositions because you already know how to use prepositions. Okay. Finally, another example question that might occur in the final exam is such as the one in exercise 109, exercise 1 on page 109. So this requires you to choose the correct form of the verb, which is like a common question in any English test of the English, in any test of the English language. So number one says, many countries are worried about increasing immigration or migration. Well, of course, obviously it's going to be immigration because migration is something different. And both of these are verbs, and here you need a noun. Right? Number two, tourism, touring, tourist, to tour is an important source. So it has to be a noun. Tourism is the noun. So tourism is an important source of revenue for a lot of countries. Number three, Many cities in the United States have a multicultural atmosphere. This can be seen in their great what? Diverse, divergence, diversity, or deriving. Of course, diversity. Number 4, sorry. The world is truly becoming interdependent. No country today can survive in isolate, of course not, isolation. Number 5, it is almost impossible to keep up with all the recent is are technological. Of course, obviously, if you get like choices with is, and are, and you get technological, it's like saying the word or the correct answer is actually technological. But it's one of those easy questions that we throw in some tests. You see, basically what I want to say is if you get such questions that you haven't seen before in chapters or in exercises, don't worry, because you already have the knowledge to answer them. And that's what you're here for. You should gain and acquire knowledge. And the reason for having a test, such as the ones we give you in final exams, is to see if you have acquired this accumulative knowledge. So what you should do is trust that you have done the best you can, and that you are capable. You are confident enough to actually answer these new questions. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen after you learn a language. It comes bit by bit, and you're going to find yourself in new situations many times. So I'd like to thank you for listening, and I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.